Hello, friends. Thank you for being here. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to this video. This is a pick a pile, choose your own adventure reading for whether you should stay in this relationship that you're questioning or if it's better to just move on. So, what I'm going to do is let you tune into, got a little thunderstorm going on. Let you tune into the rocks, pick which one resonates with you, which one you're drawn to, and choose that reading. And if you are drawn to more than one, feel free to listen to more than one. There may be more than one message in there for you. I'm going to excuse myself in advance. I have a little bit of a cold that I'm getting over, so sorry if I cough. Okay, go ahead and pause your video, choose your pile, and then we can get started. Okay, we're going to get started with pile number 1, and if I didn't mention it, this is a 5-card reading. I'm just going to, I already shuffled up and chose the cards. I'm just going to shuffle up from here too. And all right, so let's move forward here. So, oops. And this is, on this side is if you stay, this side is if you go. So if you stay, this card is going to represent what needs to change. So let's give it a turn. Knight of Pentacles. So this is going to give you an idea on what needs to change in order for you to make this relationship work. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles in reverse came up, and this can talk about peacefulness, leisure play, kind of point to those types of things. But on the opposite end of that, it can talk to carelessness, idleness, apathy. So if this is in fact a kind of rolling theme in the relationship, or maybe it's just gotten to the point where people are not caring on either side, or perhaps on both sides, that is something that needs to change. So if you're thinking in terms of staying, this is a big problem here. It seems like the caring has gone away. There is carelessness here. So maybe think about that. Is this something that you really do care about? Is it something that is worth saving? So that's just an important question to ask yourself. Okay, so the next card is going to talk about some action that you can take. So, let's see what this says. 2 of Pentacles, another Pentacles, and another reversal. So I really feel like there's so far a lot of blocked energy. I'm not even sure that this is something that you're wanting to salvage at this point, which is maybe just what you're looking for, a little bit of confirmation on what you're already thinking, because this is talks to like blocked communication, not a lot of openness, things like kind of ignorance, like maybe you're just not into what's happening. There's a lot of things that maybe you're ignoring about the relationship, and this is gonna need to change. I feel like a good communication will need to be restored. There will be some things that need to be brought to light to talk about and move forward with, if this is something that is in fact something that you want to do. So it doesn't seem like it's unsalvageable at this point, because here you have kind of a carelessness attitude that can be reversed not so difficultly, I feel like. And I feel like it can be reversed through communicating and kind of restoring the happiness to the relationship, because I do feel like there was happiness there at one point, and I do feel like it can be restored through some open communication and putting everything on the table, so to speak. All right, so let's move on to the next card. Okay, so the next card is the if you go, what was the purpose of the relationship? Sometimes if you know why you were here, you know, in a relationship with somebody, what the purpose behind it was, because everything we have is about learning and growing. So let's see what this says. Wow, it's another Pentacles card. There's really a lot of interesting energy with the Pentacles here. Okay, so here's the Nine of Pentacles. This one is in the upright position, so I feel like this is quite a positive thing as far as having learned something. It really talks about things coming to fruition. So I feel like a lot was achieved in a positive way with this relationship. There was a lot that was learned on your part for you to move and grow, and kind of maybe perhaps you figured out the kind of person that you are looking for. And when you know what you're looking for in a love relationship, it makes it so much easier to kind of make decisions going forward as far as who you meet and what you like. And so I feel like this card is saying that with this person, you did see a lot of things that you liked, and maybe some things that you didn't like too. And going forward, you are secure in the knowledge that you will know next time what it is that you're looking for. So that's this is a good card as far as learning is concerned. Yeah, and I feel like this is also saying that you'll be you've learned how to be prudent here, not dive, you know, head first into something, or perhaps for the next time you'll know not to do that. Not saying that that's what you did, or the cards don't indicate that in any way. It's just something that comes up with this card is being prudent. So that is perhaps another lesson that you've learned here. So that's an interesting pull. Okay, so this card is how do you let go if in fact you are going to be leaving this relationship. This will tell you how or what you can do to let go. Let's see. Okay, and this is the Five of Cups. Okay, so we moved away from the Pentacles and now we're into the emotions, which is interesting because you can kind of get a sense of what is on this card by the facial expression of the lady. She's quite upset. Cups are spilled. So I really feel like this, well, anyway, this card talks about getting back to the sense of oneself. So, and it goes through the whole anger, loss. It even does indicate a breakup, actually. So, really not reinventing the wheel as far as like letting go. You just got to move through the emotions and let it go. Basically, move on, get back to who you were before this relationship happened. Take with you the lessons that you learned with it, and you will get back to a good place. It's interesting because this card traditionally speaks to, you know, making errors, loveless marriages or love relationships. Getting back to like a transitional point in your life, getting back to yourself again and realizing your goals for you. And this is a nice sentiment even though it's not nice what you have to kind of go through to get there. I mean, every breakup is going to be hard no matter what, but you will get to a more positive place afterwards. Okay, just realized my microphone wasn't plugged in, so got it plugged in. Hopefully the audio wasn't too bad before. Okay, so this last card is going to talk about what action you can take, meaning whether it's leaning towards you staying or going. So let's see what it says. Justice. And it is in the upright position. And honestly, I don't feel one way or the other. I feel like this can lean either way. It is quite a positive card as far as being in the upright position. It will speak to balance, harmony, rightness. So I feel like if you do these things here, the actions that you were taking from these two cards could, then lead to harmony, rightfulness, righteousness, what you may be looking for, fairness, basically winning. So if these actions are taken, which there is some blocked energy here, as I said before, if the actions are taken to reverse these cards, then the outcome could be something great. And then here in the same token, I feel like, you've taken your lessons, you take your lumps, you move through your emotions, and again, you get to a place that's good. So I really think as far as this card telling you what to do, I really think it's kind of throwing the decision back to you and saying, what do you feel like you can do? Do you feel like you want to do these things, to work on these things that need to be working on? I don't feel like it's only one-sided. Obviously, this is just a one-sided reading as to what you can do, but is the other person willing to do that as well? So, excuse me. Yeah, a lot to think about here. This to me feels a little bit more positive, if I'm honest. I feel like, the both cards are upright. This is talking about lessons that you've learned, and these are good solid lessons, and really getting maybe rid of some negative energy that might be kind of working around in this relationship. But again, this card, I feel like it's throwing it back to you. What do you want? Where do you feel like it's headed? And I feel like you already know. I feel like you know what you want to do. It just takes time to kind of, block out the emotional aspect and kind of tune into what your intuition is telling you to do. So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I hope this has helped. I hope it's resonated with you. Let me know in the comments any feeling you had if this is your chosen reading. I read every comment, and I really, really appreciate them. It always helps my channel, helps me. Also, I really like the interaction. I like to know what you're thinking. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that with you. If you have any questions or want any clarification, you can also leave that in the comments. I'll do my best to clarify anything. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there, and thank you so much. Okay, back with reading number 2. Put this pretty still aside. I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle these up. It is a 5-card reading. I did shuffle the deck. I just like to kind of give it another little bit of a shuffle, just in case. I feel like the message will come through no matter what order these cards are in. So here we go, this side. So this side is if you stay, this side is if you go, and this is the action that you can take. So this card will tell us what change if you stay, what change needs to be made? Four of Swords. Okay, so the Four of Swords in the upright position is interesting because it talks about kind of needing a maybe what do you see? She's doing a facial, sort of talking about taking time out for yourself, revitalization, reinvention, retreat. So I really feel like this is saying that you need to take out some time for you, and that it doesn't need to be all revolving around the other person. If in fact that is what's going on, this is indicating that there is a very strong need for you to get back into, I don't want to say control, I don't think that's the case, but I feel like it's kind of heavily swaying towards the other, toward the other person, whatever the relationship is kind of revolving maybe around the other person more so than it is you, and you need to take your time now to kind of push those feelings aside and take care of yourself. And then it's also talking to that you need to take some rest and relaxation. It's a card about pampering yourself, and that will help your overall morale to feel better too. So if you've really been feeling down lately, this is a sign that you need to focus on yourself. So let's move on to the next card. Okay, so this next card is going to talk about how you can act moving forward if in fact you do want to stay in the relationship. And this one is the Knight of Cups, also in the upright position, so that's good because it's makes it easier to know that their energy is not so much blocked. And this is a card all about like romance and charm, and I really feel like this card is just saying that there's the romance, the spark needs to be lit again somehow. It's kind of been put out for whatever reason, and this card is saying the action that needs to be taken is to do something new, different, and romantic. So that's kind of nice. So do something for you first, and then for you both second, if in fact the decision is to stay. Those don't seem too difficult to do, so I really don't feel like this is too far gone unless you're really feeling really, really down. So let's move on to the next one. So this card will talk about what was the purpose of this relationship for you, sort of like what did you learn, because it's important to know, like, you know, why certain people are brought into your life, especially if something didn't work out. What did I learn from this? Now this is interesting because this is actually the card that comes right after this card in succession. So it's interesting that they came up one right after the other. So this is the Queen of Cups, and she's all about positivity and seeing the glass half full. It's about introspection. It can talk about emotions. So I really feel like you've learned to take a positive look on your emotions, and you really can see the good in things. And I feel like that is a really massive lesson to have learned, whether it's from this other person or just from the relationship dynamic in general, which doesn't feel toxic or bad to me at all, just by looking at the cards that we've seen here. I really feel like it's also kind of pushed you to maybe, going back to this card here, look into yourself, and I think that you need to do that again, and kind of look for answers there as well. So that's quite a good lesson to have learned for a relationship. And then this next card is going to talk about if you do go, how you can let go of the relationship. Okay, so this next card is how to let go. And this is the Six of Swords. You've got 2 cups and 2 swords here. This one is in the reverse, which to me tells me I'm going to point a little bit more to the negative. It does talk about kind of getting stuck in a tough situation, and it's kind of hard to kind of separate yourself from that. So I do feel like there's a lot of obviously deep feelings involved here, and that will be hard to extricate yourself easily. It will be something that is weighing on your mind, I feel like. But I mean, this is, I think, true of any kind of breakup. So I mean, if this is something that you want, it seems very sad to me, though. I feel like I'm not quite sure that this is what you're wanting to do. It does seem salvageable to me just by these cards that have come up, for sure. And this card, as I said, talks about kind of getting stuck in kind of a bad mental space. So with this card, I feel like obviously it's going to be something difficult to move on from, but you know, once you get to the point where you feel better. Sorry, my dog just walked in here. When you get to the point where you feel better, then, you know, this card then would turn like this, and then, you know, then have more positive meaning to it. So yeah, I mean, but that's going to be with anything. Letting go is not always an easy thing to do, and I do feel like, as I said, kind of some deep feelings here. So just something to think about. And then on to the last card, which talks to the action that you can take. So I feel like ultimately, no matter what the card says, it's your choice. So let's see what this card says. Obviously, it's your choice. Don't have to do what the cards say, but it's just can offer some insight for you. This is Temperance, which is an interesting pull. This card is all about uniting, compatibility, management, accommodation, serenity. So I do feel like this is kind of indicating that the relationship can be or should be salvaged, and it will be with a good outcome. So again, don't just do it because the cards said that it's a good idea, but this is some insight into what you can do to kind of see how it's moving forward. I do feel, yeah, a more kind of positive I do feel more like this is a relationship not too far gone. It does feel more on the positive side to me, and with this card saying that you can move forward and do so in a positive and happy way, that's all the better. So again, your choice. Just take the cards for what they are, tools of insight, and you know, have a think on it. She's saying that there's some introspection to be done, and you are good at doing that. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully this has made some sense for you and resonated with you in a small way. Please leave me any comments that you have. If this reading, was for you, I do look at every comment, and I really do appreciate it and enjoy the interaction. Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna move on to the next one with that. Thank you again. See you in the next one. Okay, here we are with reading number 3. Just going to go ahead and give you a shuffle up. I do shuffle the whole deck before I lay these cards out. I just like to give them a little shuffle up before I lay them out. Oops. So I'm going to put them out here. Do you feel like whatever message needs to come through will come through regardless of what position they're in? So this position over here is if you stay, and this is over here if you go, and here up here is the action, suggested action. And the card that has come up is the Eight of Wands in its reversed position. And this card talks a lot about arguments, quarreling, discord, disputing, jealousy. So I feel like as something that needs to be changed, there's a good indicator here that the fighting needs to change. So in order to kind of get to that, there has to be some sort of communication, getting that kind of stuff out into the open as to, what is the root cause of the arguments? Why is there so much disputing? As I said before, this does talk to jealousy. So maybe there's some insecurity going on somewhere. And that's definitely something that needs to change, whether on your part or their part. There's going to be a need of getting together and kind of fixing the fighting, because it's not, obviously nobody wants a relationship where there's a lot of fighting. It's not good. It's can become quite toxic. So something to think about. The next card that we were going to look at is this one, and this is going to in the position of how to act. So this is an action that you can take, and that is the King of Pentacles in his upright position. So the King of Pentacles talks about diligence, honesty, being generous, forthright. So kind of matches well with what needs to change with this card. I feel like there needs to be some honesty, moving forward, hard work and diligence, obviously. And I feel like in doing that will lead you to a good place again, because I feel like this is not something that has always been like this, but over time maybe has become like this. But the hard work and generosity of spirit and mind is a good action to take. Again, with communication, I think it's, obviously going to be paramount, being honest and forthright. So that's the action you can take there to keep the relationship moving forward, if that's in fact the choice that you're going to make here. And then this side is going to be if you go. This card will talk about how to let go. This card will talk about the purpose of the relationship, what you learned, why you were here, basically. So here we have the Fool reversed. So in its upright position, it talks about just being really carefree and happy, not really paying attention to any consequences of anything. And the reversal means something a little bit different. I feel like in its reversal state, it's saying as far as learning a lesson or a purpose as to why the relationship was in your life, or why you were a part of the relationship. It can talk about how learning to not take risks. So if you were maybe somebody who was a little bit on the kind of risk-taking side before, now I feel like this is saying that you've learned to be more prudent in your decision-taking and risk-taking, decision-making and risk-taking. So that's kind of an interesting thing, and a good lesson to learn at that. So because in its upright position can talk to being blind. So I feel so this card can also, in its reverse position, talk about having blinders on. So I'm sorry, the upright position talks about having blinders on. So I feel like with the reversal, it's saying, okay, that's no longer the case. You're well aware of what's going on, and I feel like as far as lessons, I feel like you've learned to kind of see things as they are, and not through a lens of no consequences kind of thing, if that makes sense. All right, so let's move on to this card. And this card is talking about how to let go. Let's see what this has to say. We have the Queen of Pentacles in her reversed position. We have the King of Pentacles over here and the Queen of Pentacles over here. That's interesting. It's like having almost like the duality of the masculine and feminine energy here. So let's see what she has to say. So this card can speak to not taking care of oneself, how maybe you should be doing. So I feel like as far as letting go and moving on, there's going to be some soul searching that's going to come up with this card, and in order to move forward, there's going to be some need to take care of you and letting go of any of the negative energy that is surrounding this relationship to move on. Excuse me. So it's going to be really important to kind of sift through those feelings, as hard as that is, and really, really think about how you can, and I feel like this is something that you can do on your own, as well as reaching out to, maybe a friend or somebody who's close. I don't feel like this is going to obviously need to be a situation where you involve a lot of people. Certainly not. So really, if you are one who does tend to take on things to deal with them by yourself, it's important to make sure that all of the negative emotions are dealt with before moving on. And it's taking care of you time. It's time for you to kind of move through that to get to a more positive place, a more positive space. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so this is the last card, kind of like what action you should take, either this or this. So let's see what the card says. Okay, so this is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. This way, all is good in love, home, happiness. This way can also speak to luck, but more on a surface level. You know what I mean? It's not like a super deep connection. It's kind of can be like being lucky and gambling if you want. So it's kind of like not a it can speak to luck, but not at any depth, if that makes sense. So I feel like this card is saying your path of least resistance may be to let the relationship go. Again, this is obviously you taking in the information that came in the cards, seeing what pieces resonated with you, if any of them did, and then making your choice based on that, on what you can do. I mean, you can decide to try to move ahead, and if that doesn't work, maybe then you then start to realize the lessons that you learned, maybe decide that it's not worth salvaging, not worth the energy to do so. Again, there's a lot of, I felt like, discord over here, this card. Definitely things can be done to improve that. But again, it's your choice as to what you feel like, how you would like to move forward. So I feel like this is saying, yeah, I think I just said that, to let go of this relationship. But again, it's you who chooses, it's you who decides. This is merely a tool to provide some insight into some of the aspects underlying that maybe you were not 100% aware of. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to leave it there. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope this has resonated with you or made sense for you, and has helped in some small way. Please do feel free to leave me a comment. I read every single comment that comes through. I appreciate knowing how this made you feel, if it was helpful for you. I certainly hope that it was. This is always my intention and goal, is to be helpful and to provide insight. If you are still looking for a little bit more insight, if you have a question, feel free to drop that into the comments as well. Again, I read everything. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. And I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.